Hello everyone, this is Kik, and today we have on the show DeepMind employees protesting against Google's military contracts, Microsoft which will soon stop hiring programmers who don't use AI, the second Neuralink patient playing Counter-Strike with the power of thought, China is ready for mass production of humanoid robots, the first flying router to provide internet for entire cities, and Boeing, which won't manage to complete all the piloted Starliner launches before the ISS is decommissioned. All this and much more right now. Let's go. Today we'll start with the DeepMind employees who have protested against Google's military contracts. DeepMind employees referred to articles about Google providing AI and cloud services to the Israeli military. They emphasized that such contracts contradict the company's stated mission of creating ethical and responsible AI. The employees believe that these contracts contradict Google's declared mission of creating ethical and responsible AI. The letter literally states any involvement in the military industry and weapons production affects our standing as leaders in ethical and responsible AI and contradicts our mission and stated AI principles. This letter reflects the growing internal tension within Google following the acquisition of DeepMind in 2014. The company then promised that DeepMind's technology would never be used for military purposes or surveillance. However, it seems not all employees believe the search giant is keeping its promise. Meanwhile, Microsoft will soon stop hiring programmers who don't use AI. Companies developing AI programming assistants such as Replit, Anysphere, Magic, Augment, Supermaven, and Poolside AI have attracted $433 million this year alone, adding to nearly $1 billion in total investments when including last year. The drive to invest in AI assistants for programming indicates that coding might be the first field to undergo significant transformation due to the latest wave of AI technologies. Growing confidence in AI coding contrasts with some investors' questions about the economic benefits of generative AI and the likely returns on the predicted trillions in investments by big tech in computing infrastructure to support this technology in the coming years. But while some investors question the economic benefits of AI and the profitability of big tech's investments in its infrastructure, Silicon Valley's confidence is growing. Enthusiasm for AI has driven startups and tech giants Microsoft, Amazon, and Google to compete for dominance in the crowded sector, creating AI assistants and agents capable of writing and editing code. Moreover, the chairman of the board of Code.org, which includes Microsoft's CTO, recently told Partovi that their company would stop hiring people who program without AI by the end of the year. By the way, GitHub, a pioneer in AI coding, was one of the first to integrate large language models into its products. GitHub Copilot, launched in 2022, already has nearly 2 million paid subscribers, and as many experts claim, it writes code far better than the average developer. The second patient with a Neuralink implant is already managing games and engineering projects using the brain interface. Alex, who suffered a spinal cord injury, managed to play Counter-Strike 2 and design a mount for the Neuralink charging device in CAD, using only the power of thought. After the implant was installed, Alex was able to use it for remote mouse control on his laptop. This opened up new possibilities for interacting with the digital environment. In a published video, Alex and his team in Counter-Strike 2 easily take down opponents. Before the Neuralink chip implant, Alex used a special device called QuadStick for gaming. According to Neuralink, it was a mouth joystick with pressure sensors for inhaling and exhaling, as well as a lip position sensor to simulate mouse clicks. However, dynamic shooters like CS2 traditionally require two joysticks, one for character movement and another for aiming. The limited functionality of the QuadStick, equipped with just one joystick, forces the user to constantly switch between movement and aiming modes, significantly reducing the quality of the gaming experience. Alex was thrilled with the agility and game control through the Neuro implant. He noted that he can now freely move his gaze in any direction without using additional devices like the QuadStick. Alex, a former auto mechanic, not only excels in games but also successfully applies the brain-computer interface in engineering 3D projects. Using CAD software through the Neuro implant, he designed a special mount for his Neuralink charger, which was 3D printed and integrated into his setup. This shows that the brain chip can assist in solving various digital and creative tasks, not just in games. Let's move on. The Indian company Ola Electric has announced a lineup of roadster electric motorcycles. It includes models with a range of up to 579 kilometers and a top speed of up to 194 kilometers per hour. The company also shared what else the new models have to offer. The Roadster lineup includes 3 models: Roadster, Roadster X, and Roadster Pro. The first two are further divided by battery capacity. The fastest motorcycle in the lineup is the Roadster Pro. It delivers 52 kilowatt of power and accelerates to 194 kilometers per hour. Inside is a a 16-kilowatt battery, which provides a range of 539 kilometers in Eco mode. In addition to Eco, there are Hyper, Sport, and Normal modes. The motorcycle's metrics can be monitored through a 10-inch display on the handlebars. The basic Roadster 6 with 13 kilowatt of power can accelerate up to 126 kilometers per hour. It takes 2.6 seconds to accelerate to 40 kilometers per hour. In Eco mode, the range is 248 kilometers. There are also disc brakes with ABS and 3 operating modes. In addition, ABS intensity changes when cornering. The motorcycle is equipped with alloy wheels, a monoshock, and a 6.8-inch display on the handlebars. It also supports 5G and Wi-Fi. The basic Roadster is available for pre-order starting at $1,250, the Roadster X at $893, and the Roadster Pro at $2,977. Deliveries will begin no earlier than the fourth quarter of 2026. China is ready for mass production of humanoid robots. This week in Beijing, the World Robot Conference was held, where more than 24 Chinese companies showcased humanoid robots. Even more vendors displayed components for assembling such robots. According to reports, China aims to become the world leader in autonomous humanoid robots. Notably, the robotics direction is actively supported by the government. In January this year, Beijing launched a state robotics fund with a budget of $1.4 billion. And later in July, Shanghai announced plans to create a similar fund with a budget of $1.4 billion. Many Chinese companies are preparing to enter the mass market with their humanoid robots by 2025. For example, Ubtech expects around 1,000 such humanoids to be working in factories, which will only be the first step towards their widespread adoption. Incidentally, similar figures were earlier mentioned by Tesla for its Optimus robot. And since we started with China, let's continue with it. Chinese company Pico has unveiled a new MR headset called Pico 4 Ultra, which is set to compete with Quest 3. The developers shared and demonstrated what the new product is capable of. The new product is built on the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR Gen 2 processor, equipped with 12 GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 256 GB of UFS 3.1 storage. Content is displayed on a pair of 2.56-inch screens with a refresh rate of 90 GHz. The headset's audio capabilities are provided by 2 stereo speakers and its autonomy by a 5,700 mAh battery with support for fast 45-watt charging. The list of features is rounded out by 4 tracking cameras, 2 32-megapixel cameras for mixed reality functions, and 4 microphones. The device runs on Pico OS based on Android and supports both gaming and workspace organization through mixed reality. For example, you can connect to a laptop, display a virtual monitor with MS Word, and type text using the keyboard of the paired device. Another interesting feature of the model is the ability to create a virtual environment using AI algorithms. The price of the Pico 4 Ultra in China is about $603, with no information yet on availability in other regions. Now let's head to the sky. Psy has shared details about its unmanned aerial vehicle designed to provide internet and monitor natural disasters. It resembles an airship, can ascend to an altitude of nearly 20 kilometers, hover in one spot, and distribute the internet. The developers showed what its launch looks like. The Psy HAPS is filled with helium and its fuselage is 65 meters long. The UAV's body integrates solar panels made from selenide and gallium arsenide. They charge batteries that power the vehicle's electric motors. These motors allow it to change its flight direction and maintain its position in the air despite the wind. The maximum altitude during the test flight was 19,812 meters. Also during the tests, the HAPS managed to provide LTE network coverage to a smartphone on the ground at a distance of 140 kilometers, thanks to a special antenna and beamforming technology. Usually, the antenna's range does not exceed 100 kilometers. The HAPS also demonstrated another useful capability. It can charge its batteries from the sun during the day and hover above the ground all night thanks to the stored charge. The Psy HAPS is still in the testing phase, but it is expected to start operating as early as 2025. And what would Kik be without space? 10 years ago, NASA selected Boeing as one of the primary developers of spacecraft to deliver astronauts to the International Space Station. Now it is becoming increasingly clear that the company will not manage to conduct the 6 planned manned missions. Even the test flight will end with the Starliner returning to Earth without a crew. At the time of signing the agreement with NASA, Boeing received $4.2 billion in funding and a contract for 2 and potentially 6 manned missions related to astronaut rotation between Earth and the ISS. Meanwhile, SpaceX received $2.6 billion in funding to perform almost the same amount of work. In its financial reports, Boeing already mentioned expenses of $1.6 billion due to delays and cost overruns in the Starliner program. It is clear that this figure will increase, as the company will likely need to redesign some components of the engine system to address problems that arose during the crew flight test mission. NASA has allocated a total of $5.1 billion for the Starliner program, and most of this money has already been spent. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated on high-tech news. Peace to your home.